Hey guys, welcome to this video. My name is John Watts. I'm a consumer protection lawyer, and I want to talk to you about if you hire a lawyer, so you're a client, how should your lawyer communicate with you, and how should you communicate with your lawyer? And the bottom line is it really should be in the way that is best for you. And you need to express that to your lawyer. Now, your lawyer may not be able to completely do it exactly the way that you want, but there should be some conversation and try to come together with something. So let me give you an example. Some people, they only want stuff through the mail. Well, for a lot of law firms, that's not the way that we typically do it. But if somebody wants that, then as a law firm, we should honor that and try at least the majority of time to communicate through the mail. Now, sometimes you need a quicker response. But then there are other people that say, look, I really don't want email. I just like email. I want everything by email. Well, express that to your lawyer and say, look, this is the way I really want to communicate is by email. Okay. And get an agreement with your lawyer about that. Other people say, look, I mean, you may need to send me some stuff by email, but if you really want me, you need to text me. Okay. And a lot of lawyers are resistant to that. But again, my view is that if you're hiring a lawyer, then there has to be a little bit of give and take between the lawyer and the client. But really, the lawyer should try to accommodate you. And if the way you like to communicate is by text, then do it by text. You know, if it's just by phone calls, hey, I don't want this long email, just call me. And again, it might be, hey, we're going to email or text to set up the call and schedule the call. But my suggestion to you is just do some thinking about, all right, you're in this relationship now with this lawyer and this law firm. How do you want communication to be? Do you want it by phone? Do you want it by email, text, letter, all the above, two of the above? What is it? And make sure you talk with your lawyer about that and that there's an agreement. Because if you only want text messages, and your lawyer says, I will never send you a text message, I'll only email you, and you're like, I'll never check my email. Well, look, you're kind of missing each other here. And there needs to be an agreement so you can come together so that there is proper communication. Because most of the time I'll just tell you this, we get a lot of people that contact us and say, hey, I'm unhappy with my lawyer. Will you represent me? And my response is always, get with your lawyer, work it out. I really don't like people coming to me because they fired their lawyer. It's like, just communicate with your lawyer. And usually the response is, he won't communicate back. She won't respond to me. And so some of that is just the lawyer not being responsive. Some of that is, again, we're kind of communicating in different ways here. So if you're like, hey, I've sent my lawyer 5 text messages and he never responds, well, maybe he's not getting those. Or if the lawyer says, well, I've sent you a dozen emails, and you're like, yeah, I haven't checked my email. I have 10,000 unread emails, in my inbox. Well, we need to get on the same page of how we're communicating. So that may seem like kind of a minor thing. It's like maybe you have a big personal injury case and you're looking at several firms and you're watching their videos, you're reading their articles, you're talking with them, you're reading their reviews. And you say, okay, I found the right one. Well, part of finding the right one is finding the firm that will communicate with you in the right way. And again, you have to be open-minded to things. They have to be open-minded to you. So I'll give you one last example. I think it was in 2007, maybe 8, somewhere in there. So it's been like 13 years or so. I made the decision that I would not take any inbound calls. I'm talking about me personally. So nobody can call me directly. Okay, all my calls are scheduled. And about the only exception is, if you're a judge, obviously, the receptionist will find me. But the reason I do that is because I can't multitask. Okay, so when I'm working on your case, I don't want to be answering the phone on somebody else's case and not know about that other case, and it distracts me from what I was working on in your case. So I do everything by scheduled calls. And, every client I've had has said, well, I've never heard of that before. But they like it because I explain why I do it that way. Now I'll say, look, you can text me, you can email me. I'm just not going to necessarily respond immediately if I'm in the middle of something. Obviously, if I'm in the middle of a trial, I'm not going to be checking my emails. But even if I'm just working on, say, a lawsuit, I'm going to finish that, and then I'm going to check my text messages, my email. If you've called in, my paralegal, talk with her, and I'm happy to set up phone calls. And the point is that may be a little bit different than clients are used to. But when I explain why I do it, hey, when I'm working on your case, I'm not being distracted by anybody else. They're like, oh, I like that. And all my calls are scheduled calls. So I share that with you to say, you need to do the same thing with your lawyer. You may say, for example, here's why it's hard for me to schedule calls because of the type of work I do. So it would be better to do email or to do text, and let's find a time like in the next 20 minutes when we can talk. But just explain your situation. Let the lawyer explain from their perspective. And again, you come together and you find the right fit. You find the right approach so that you can have that communication, because that is so vital. I mean, you got the best lawyer in the world, greatest trial lawyer, but if you can't stand the guy or you can't stand the lady because of communication, then that doesn't do you any good. So you need somebody that you're confident in and that you're very comfortable with their approach to communication. So I know it's a little bit different video, but that was on my mind because, again, we have so many people that come to us and say, I can't communicate with my lawyer. I want to fire him or her and hire you. And we're always trying to push them back to go talk to them. Find out where the breakdown in communication is. So if you can fix that on the front end, it sure prevents a lot of problems. So thanks for watching this, guys. Hope that's helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.